I am a free market man. I believe in voluntary exchanges. I believe that people are the best decision makers for themselves when they're free, when they can put as much blood and sweat into something. They can make as much profit if they want to. They can produce as much as they want to, or they can produce as little as they want to. I think people working voluntarily to create wealth for themselves, I think it pushes society forward. I think we should reward those people. A very select few throughout human history have really moved people forward. And so it's their work, their ingenuity, their creativity, their vision that has propelled us to be able to live longer, to be able to feed ourselves, feed the world in ways that we never thought was possible. It's that exponential growth of technology that just keeps getting larger and larger. And I would say that on the antithesis of that is socialism, or the government central planning, the government taking from some and giving to others. It decentralizes ambition, work, production of goods. It subsidizes malinvestment, people who, are not becoming even the best version of themselves, but they're sort of toiling in their own despair or their own sort of bad behaviors. It almost incentivizes that at times. And so for me, because I love people, because I love society, I am a devout free market man. I believe free people are the key to a dynamic society. Free people voluntarily exchanging. And when I think about socialism, where it takes from some and gives to others, and even gives everybody the same thing, like, why would we want to have equal outcomes? People aren't born equal. They don't work equally. And so we would never want equal outcomes, because the people who can really move society forward, they just won't work. And then you reward people who can't, who don't have the attention span, who won't put the energy and effort into doing something. And just throughout human history, it's never worked. Whether it's Venezuela, whether it's the communist Russia, or any other place where even the early pilgrims here in America, they tried socialism and realized that people just defaulted to the lowest bare minimum. So, because I love people, I love free markets, and I think a lot of our problems today would go away if we had free markets here in America, because we don't have them. And if we had free markets around the world, I think we would live a lot longer. We would be a lot more peaceful. And, when it comes to markets, if goods don't cross borders, guns will. So I think isolationism and protectionism and tariffs, I think they're terrible. I think that's central planning. I don't think that helps serve our fellow man, because profit and production and exchange voluntarily really transcends color and everything else. And there's a lot I've really delved into, but even the American South, but believe it or not, before Jim Crow laws, and Jim Crow laws were the government coming in and dividing people, but businesses had already started to mingle, and blacks and whites were actually together until the government came in and separated them. So for me, the government's our biggest enemy, and socialism, it's sort of you have to shoot your way out of socialism, because it defaults into a tyrannical empire. And that's my views, and I'm going to give Denise time to rebuttal if she wants to rebuttal, or you can say whatever you like to say. Thank you for letting me speak.
At one point, I think you think this way because you were born here.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody has the same opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want to be someone, it is not the same, because only if you have lived in Central America, you have never seen poverty. I've never seen poverty here. So that is different, for example, in the way politics are, and I see it. If you go to a supermarket here, you see people asking for money, beggars.
Yep.
They're white people.
Mm-hmm. I've seen
They're
it.
not old,
I've seen it with my own eyes.
no teeth,
Yeah.
and they don't want food. They want money.
Right.
So that's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Not all people. Now, when you see somebody crossing the border, I'm not okay with people that are undocumented.
Mm.
So you don't see those people asking you for money ever.
Mm.
They come here to work, to just have the opportunity to do what you are saying.
Mm-hmm.
We can do this if we work.
Mm-hmm.
So, but look what's happening. So, first of all, being undocumented is not a crime, and look how we've been treated
Mm.
like animals, children, women. So, I have to tell you, it's a misdemeanor.
That's a Don Lemon quote. I've heard that before. The Don Lemon says that. It's a misdemeanor, not a crime if they're undocumented.
Yes.
Go ahead.
But the real criminal, it's upstairs, you know? That's
So
I don't understand
yeah.
how a country
Mhm.
is going to have morals
Mhm.
if you have someone who's running the country without them.
Okay. All right. And let me so a couple rebuttals, and I'll give you. So I would say the poverty in Central America is due to socialistic policies. If you go to the countries down there that have left-leaning politicians, those are the countries that have scarcity of resources, lack of production. From Colombia, which is having mass migration to Venezuela, the countries like, not lately, but historically the last 40 years, and I know Augusto Pinochet was a brutal dictator, but if they had more market economies, Uruguay and Chile, they had prosperity, they had freedom, they had economic. So I think we're talking about two different things. I think I agree with you for the most part about coming over and wanting to work. I mean, look, I'm a libertarian. I believe in freedom. I think a lot of that's imaginary lines. Like we have these imaginary lines between countries. It's like they don't even mean anything. That's why the tariffs are so stupid. It's like, oh, the stuff's produced here. Like it's more ethical if it's produced in Louisiana as opposed to Taiwan. Like somehow like the metal or the furniture that we're using is like somehow more ethical if it's produced in Taiwan or produced in Louisiana and not Taiwan. That's absurd to me. So I think when it comes to immigration, I think you're right on board there. I would say there's two things when it comes to immigration. I do think you have to, if you have a welfare state, which means people can like have a child and then the child becomes a citizen, the child has hospital and automatic care. I think you have to be careful. You either get rid of the welfare state, or if you have a welfare state, which all countries do, you have to you want to have people who are productive who come in and add to the society. And I think if you have a welfare state, it does draw some people. I have met people who come from third world countries, not just Central Americans or but other people who they're not the most motivated individuals. And I think having a welfare state is an incentive for them to come here and not work. I mean, it's logical if you don't have to work to not work and to get food stamps and free housing and so forth. So I think I'm more of a free market man. It's hard because labor and people coming and doing things, it grows the economy. So, but I guess more socialism. Do you have any thoughts about that? Are you more of a socialist? Are you more of a free market capitalist?
I'm, like I said, nothing is like the opposite. Like you have to blend. We're all here, blend everything. And if, like you said, okay, I come to work and I can make this much money or all of that. It's hard. It's the situation of each person. All people want to make it. Now, for example, China, you can have one child. One.
Well, they've changed that now, but
Okay. I have a friend
I
that
get
is
your
from
point.
China.
I get your
Came
point.
here, lives
Yeah.
in San Francisco,
Yeah.
and he's the happiest man because
Yeah.
he has a boy and a girl.
Yes. Yes.
And he's telling me that all the
Right.
time.
Right.
So not that has to do with money or capitalism or that. It's just the situation of each person different. Now, what's happening right now? Few people. It's amassing. Now we talk about trillions of dollars. You cannot even imagine. Why? Because you could make it. And what about the rest of the people?
Is it you my answer? Okay. If I can say most people who get there's we don't have a free market economy. We have such a crony in so many areas where we have a crony capitalistic, which means the government picks the winners and the losers. Our financial system, which because we have a central planned monetary system, which means the government controls interest rates, those who can get their hands on the money first, who can leverage it and then expand it, they're going to be the wealthiest. That's who's the wealthiest now. Elon Musk did not get wealthy because he himself just had a business and he was bootstrapping it, and then he just made more money. He got wealthy because he had investors come in, and then they were able to expand that money, which is beautiful too. Credit has a role in growing an economy, but it's not a free market. Our monetary system is centrally planned, and our military industrial complex, our healthcare system now. It's not a free market. We think it is, and we blame it, but it's really corrupt because the supply of health care practitioners, which is doctors and nurses, that's highly regulated. Whenever anything's highly regulated, it always creates higher prices, and then it's artificially subsidized through Medicaid and Medicare, which increases the demand for it. So when you restrict supply and you increase demand, it creates artificial price increases and shortages in certain ways. So I love people. I love, and I'm a free market man and anti-socialist and statist for those reasons. And so, but I'll give you the last word.
I don't know.
We don't disagree that much, probably.
No.
Yeah, I know. This is a beautiful thing about
We're good people.